Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.
As little boys, and maybe even little girls in the case of Supercar Blondie, we all had that poster of our favorite car on the wall. In my case, it was the iconic Mazda 323. Just kidding. It was a Ferrari 308 made so famous by Magnum. Maybe it was his lifestyle in Hawaii that actually did it for me. My vision and my dream is that All Things Motoring becomes a show of the people and literally for the people. From the outset, the simple aim was to make it easy to watch and follow with no rigid pattern and most definitely no agenda. In this regard, please visit the site allthingsmotoring.co.za and on the Contact Us section, tell us what you would like to see on the show. Equally, if you and 300 of your closest friends would like to be on the show as a guest or a fan, we would value that so much. I must just mention that we get the most incredible support and feedback from KZN. Thank you so much, KZN. I love you. If you have an idea for the show, please be so kind as to let us know. Our success is based on giving you, our valued viewer, what you want. I'm not scared of speed or adventure in any way, and you won't have to beg me to do a feature on your high-powered machine of any kind. Please don't forget to visit our YouTube channel and remember to hit that subscribe button.
This week on All Things Motoring, we dive deep into the South African car culture by visiting two motor shows, one in Gauteng and one in Pretoria, where we meet interesting people and chat about their cars.
Today you hear a lot of noise around me. We're at the Northgate shopping centre on the roof at the T3 Motor Show. Lots of passionate fans, supporters and car buffs around. There's a lot of crazy stuff to see, whether it be cleaning materials, old cars, pumped up, restored, incredible. And we're going to have a wonderful interview shortly with beautiful VW Combi Auto Villa. Who doesn't dream of going on holiday in a beautiful auto villa? I'm here on the rooftop of Northgate Shopping Centre at the T3 Motor Show, and I'm walking around and the most beautiful 1984 auto villa drives in. I promise you I chased it. I walked around, I chased it to meet Ivan. Ivan, thanks for chatting to us.
Ivan the Terrible.
Ivan the Terrible.
I love it.
Tell us about what you've got here. This thing is beautiful.
Okay, let me just explain to you. I bought this as it was a non-runner, and I basically built this myself. I love it and it's a passion.
I must just tell our viewers, when you see inside, we'll show you the footage, inside, outside. This is pristine, it's immaculate. One of the things that caught my eye straight away is the stickers that Ivan's got on here. And one of it says, camping, the only time you pay a fortune to live like a homeless person. In terms of yourself now, what do you do with it? Fishing, camping?
Yeah, camping. Camping. I do fishing and camping. Yeah.
So you were saying to me when you're driving on the highway, what is the biggest challenge? The wind?
The wind, because of the stop.
Oh, this is an aerodynamic brick.
Yeah, it has to be. And the thing is, this is not a fast car. I mean, it's not a car. I mean, really, it's a camper. So when you're traveling in this here, you need to understand something. You're not in a hurry.
Of course.
Because just stop wherever you want to and do whatever you want to. That's basically it.
When they say life is a journey, enjoy the ride,
this
is
love
it. So tell me something, you spoke about a full refurb. You bought this. Who did you buy it from?
I bought it from another. It was a pensioner, by the way.
But he probably bought it brand new.
Told me that I'm the second owner, so that's it.
Beautiful. But fundamentally, you can see it was never a rust bucket. This is an inland car. Car's got no rust, no cooling issues.
No, it was air cooled. I wanted to be water cooled and not air cooled, because air cooled you can't travel for long distances. Like I travel from here to Bloemfontein or here to Cape Town. I don't care. Can't
do that in an air cooled.
No, you have to stop every 100 k's.
So the next $1 million question: when can I buy it?
We'll talk about that.
Now we're looking at a beautiful, must be, I would imagine, a 1992 Nissan 300ZX, or as they say in America, Nissan 300ZX. Got 5 bolts here, sharp, 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 plus the tyre valve. James Bond has got nothing on this. You get music, as you can hear around me, and then you get proper music. This speaker's as big as I am tall. It is crazy power. It's been fantastic spending the afternoon here, seeing so many passionate fans and an incredible enthusiasm for all things motoring.
After the break, we head out to Pretoria to chat to some passionate car owners about what they have on display.
Today, All Things Motoring is at Cars in the Park at the incredible Swartkorps Raceway. What a privilege and pleasure to be here, surrounded by thousands upon thousands of knowledgeable, interested, engaging fans, and the most incredible cars that you could wish to see. To know that these vehicles still exist in South Africa makes me proud. My name is Michael, you can call me Sheriff. I've sworn in my deputy for the day to do the important stuff. It is just so cool to see these incredible cars. Car after car, whether it be the taxis, the old police cars, it is mind-boggling that these beautiful vehicles still exist in our equally beautiful country. So proud to be here. I'm chatting with Shorty. So Shorty, a day like today, roughly what would we imagine a year? A couple of thousand cars?
Well, this is one of the biggest car shows there is. We haven't had it for 3 years because of COVID and everything. So yes, I don't know the amounts, but you are talking thousands of cars and thousands of people.
Yourself, clearly a Ford fan. Where does the passion for the Ford brand come from for you?
Well, you know, in the older days, you used to have either Volvo or Alfa, or you used to have Chev or Ford.
But was Alfa even a choice? Did you want to get stuck on purpose?
Yeah, that was what was available those days. And, you know, it's all from the fathers and grandfathers, so you follow in their footsteps sort of thing. And yeah, I had the first one was a very nice Escort 1600 GT. Then I had a Cortina Piranha, I had a Cortina 2.5 XLE, like the blue one we are standing at present now.
Tell us a little bit about this particular vehicle.
This particular vehicle is a 1983. It's got a genuine 86,000 Ks on. It is a solid car, and yes, it's original as you can get from the factory.
To think that is less than 500 kilometers a month for the last just on 40 years that it's driven. I mean, it's...
Yeah, it was the previous owner, the guy passed away, and then the car was parked for quite a number of years, and then it managed to come up.
Awesome. Now, a day like today for the Ford clubs, you indicated there's a lot of Ford clubs around. How many Ford clubs roughly in South Africa would there be?
I'm not too sure, you know, because Pretoria's got a club, the East Rand's got one, we from the West Rand, there's a club, and then there's this genuine Ford club, and then there's actually the Cortina Fun Club, like we are right with the guys now.
So now when you say fun club, what is fun club?
It's more just the guys do it for fun, you know, outings on a weekend or whatever. It's not the serious oaks that go in for the Conkers, the Elegants and all the car shows, although down some of the people that's with us, David Binder, them with the Cortinas, they've got show cars, they get trophies all along. But yeah, you know, it's more just for the outing and for the fun of it.
Lovely. What stands out for me is when you meet people like Shorty, passionate, friendly, outgoing. I say to Shorty, can we do an interview? With absolute pleasure. Shorty, lovely to meet you.
Thanks
and
so
I appreciate
much.
the opportunity.
Nice meeting you, and please, again, what you do, it's nice.
Thank
I
you,
really
appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
I work on Sundays, but today I'm off duty. In New York, we do it a little bit different. I'm standing chatting with George. Behind me is an exceptional 1974 Mazda RX2 with a rotary engine. The condition is, as I said, exceptional. George, tell me a little bit about this machine, and thanks for chatting to us.
It's my 1974 Mazda RX2 Coupe. I bought it in 2010, and I rebuilt it from scratch, bottom up.
Now, when you say rebuilt it, was it in running condition at the time you bought it?
It was in running condition, but the paintwork was bad. And it was an old car. It was an old woman's car. So it was maintained, but not properly. So the suspension needed work. So I stripped it down, sandblasted, powder coated the whole suspension, front, rear, diff. I replaced the diff. I put a RX-7 5-speed gearbox in.
Yeah.
And then Arthur Joubert at AJ Racing built for me a 12A Bridgeport engine.
Now you got a smile on your face. Is a smile on your face because of what you paid for it in 2010 compared to what it's worth now?
Yeah, well, yeah, I bought it for actually nothing, because there was a stage that nobody wanted them. They called them and and I rebuilt it, and I'm enjoying it every day.
Now, as a matter of interest, roughly, I mean, if you don't mind me being personal, what would you have paid for this in 2010? Can I guess 7,000-8,000 rand?
I paid for it, I think 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
And today, 150?
I've been offered crazy money for this car. I've been offered over 200 for it.
Yeah, it's just simply these vehicles are not available. One thing that's always intrigued me is the rotary engine. To the best of my knowledge, it was only Mazda that offered the rotary engine in South Africa and almost worldwide, or am I wrong?
You got the NSU RO80s here by us, but Mazda was the guys that could get the problems around the rotary engine sorted out. You'll see Mercedes-Benz tried, Chevrolet tried, Citroen even tried. The fact of the two spark plugs, the trailing and leading firing order. So Mazda were the guys that perfected it. Yeah. And yeah, there's plenty of people that's got bad things about, saying bad things about these things. You know, I drive, I've got 4 of them, I love them. You either love them or hate them.
Sure.
And they're not that, heavy on fuel.
That is the only challenge that I'm aware of. It's just a relatively inefficient engine
on fuel.
but producing unbelievable power for the size.
That's it. If you take this engine is a little 1200cc, it makes about 125 to 130 kilowatt.
That would have been the equivalent of a 2 litre or 2.5
A
litre.
V6 Ford in
at the
those
time.
days made about 110.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is, and it's a different drive, the way it puts the power to the road.
Yes.
No vibrations and stuff. So it's something, if you drive it and you enjoy them, then you'll keep on driving it.
Now what's interesting for me walking around, you've got every car club here, literally from Alfa Romeo to Volvo, everything in between. But each individual car club has got its passionate members. And you've got your own fan.
Yes.
What made you become a fan of the Mazda brand?
I was a very young chap, and my first car I ever bought was a Mazda Rotary. And from there it was just, I grew up in a Ford family, and I bought myself that car, and I thought, oh well, if the engine gives me a problem, I'll chuck it out and I put a V6 in it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that car and I loved it, and from there it just grew. And now my son also, he's
I was going to
also
say,
into
clearly the branch doesn't fall too
No.
far from the tree. Next to you, and your young man's name is
it.
Michael.
Is Michael as well.
Great
yeah.
choice of name, I must compliment you
No,
on that.
100%, thank you.
Now, when you look at modern vehicles and you think of a 1200 engine, it is tiny. Even this was tiny, but listen to how varm, so to speak, this sounds. What have you done to this particular engine?
It's been bridge ported, and it's got an electronic ignition, and it's got a 48 IDA Weber carburetor on it. And then a custom radiator, because the overheating was a problem on them. So I've got a nice big radiator on it, and then I've got a nice exhaust system on it.
Listening to it, if I didn't know what I'm looking at, if you said to me, tell me what we're looking at, minimum a V6, but this sounds like to me like a V8. I love that uneven burble.
That lumpy idle, yes.
Absolutely magnificent. You have a special machine here.
Thank you
I'm
very
sorry
much.
I'm wearing an Audi hat, so I should be wearing a Mazda hat.
100%.
Thank you for the opportunity to chat to you.
Thank you very
and we
much,
look forward
sir.
to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Zwartkops Raceway have done an incredible job. Everything is well run, the place is immaculately clean, the collection of vehicles, the amount of spectators here, they estimate 12,000. I'll put my neck on the block and say it's way in excess of that. Cannot wait to be back in 23, 24, 25 and beyond. So I'm walking around looking at all these beautiful cars. My eye catches the beautiful MX-5 collection. And then I see a gentleman, Herman. When you're wearing a shirt like that, I've got to interview you. Yourself and the Nesca. Tell us a little bit about the club.
The club started off in 1990.
And just for our viewers, just to mention, this is the official Mazda MX-5 Club of South Africa.
That's correct. So the club started off in 1990. And the club grew over the years, and this year so far we've about 50
registered or paid up members, but 73 on our records.
That's incredible.
Yes.
But just speaking to you off camera, you are passionate about this club. Today's a very special day. You got all your members here.
Some of them couldn't be here. We've got non-official club members as well. We've got a French group as well that we're trying to get the guys to join the club. But yeah, the club is still growing.
I speak English and I speak Afrikaans. I battle a little bit with French. Are they all right if I speak English to them?
That's fine.
Now tell me this one behind us. This is your personal baby?
Correct,
A little bit
yes.
about this particular unit?
I bought it in 2010 on my 40th birthday. It was a passion since 1990 when I bought my very first car. It's been a dream to own one of these, and yes, 20 years later, my dream came true.
Stunning. And Aneska, yourself, do you have an MX-5?
Of course I do. My husband bought one about 2.5 years ago, and he couldn't get me out of his car, so he bought me one last year.
Oh wow, oh
So
wow.
I have my own one.
Now if I ask you, clearly a fan, obviously, what is it about the MX-5 that talks to you?
It is a smile a mile. No matter what day I have, as the moment I get into that car, You're close to the tar, you hear the engine, and it's just so much fun to ride.
I've driven them. I love the sharp gear change. I love the fact that they're rear wheel drive. Incredible power to weight ratio. Not a huge engine, not turbocharged, not supercharged. Standard, normally aspirated. So you've got that lovely linear power. But that's why you've got the big smile on your face.
Yep.
So now the next, we talked about 32 years. The next 10 years, where do you see this club going?
The whole of South Africa together at one venue to celebrate the Miatas,
Beautiful.
the MX-5s.
You mentioned the Miata. So in South Africa, we all know it as the MX-5, but the Japanese international name is the Miata. M-I-A-T-A.
Correct.
What does Miata mean? Does anybody know?
No, that I don't know.
Hey, I think I know what it means. Happy interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Herman and Neska, been a privilege and a pleasure to speak to you.
Likewise.
I'm chatting with Eddie and Ryan. Eddie is from the Cortina Club in Gauteng, and he was telling me how warmly welcomed and received they are every time they go down to KZN. And today is their time to pay back. Tell us about the Phoenix Club.
Phoenix Ford Club has started 7 years ago, and we've grown quite a bit. We've got, I can't tell you the amount of people that we have.
Couple of thousand, tens of thousands.
A couple hundred. But getting everybody together, we don't have that many at all the time, but we're always doing breakfast runs, we do a bit of charity, and we do a lot of socializing just with the friends and families.
Something of interest to me is you spoke about the 30S, okay? Now the Ford 3-litre engine, XR6 30S, then you talk about the XR3, the 1600 Sport. What has happened to those nomenclatures today that we don't remember? You think of a Hyundai i10, what does it mean? But when you say 30S, 1600 Sport, it just sticks in the mind. Your personal favorite Ford?
Mine is a 1600 Sport Escort. The dream is a 2-litre turbo engine in there. That's the reason this car was brought to just tease me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the dream. It's just a passion that we have because we feel the exhilaration behind it. It's just something that we've grew up with, just enjoying it, and we want to just show that to other people.
Now your kids, are they Ford fans?
Yes, they are. I've got 4 kids, and each one of my cars have been allocated to them, not by me, but them personally.
By them personally?
But yes, it was to draw them away from the elements of the bad elements.
Yes.
So we keep them close to us. And
Fantastic.
there's a saying that goes, get them involved in cars and they'll have no money for drugs.
Ryan, Eddie, the camaraderie shines through, the passion for the brand shines through, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for being on camera with us.
Thank you very much.
To Ryan and Eddie, I've done the interview. Now please tell us about your school marks. I'm sure I was not alone. When I saw all these wonderful cars, I started to get heart palpitations. So good to know that we've got the latest, most up-to-date modern ambulance behind us in case of an emergency.
Can I start again?
Of course.
All right.
Have you got any bad habits? We've only got 20 minutes, so you can...
I've got good habits, which is Ford.
No.
Start again, like you explained?
You're cutting all that off. I've got some bad habits, but I'm very good at it.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Next week on All Things Motoring, we get some tips on maintenance and continue our visit through Cars in the Park. We chat to more interesting car owners as well as the Chatsworth Ford and Lada Owners Club of South Africa.
If you or anyone you know has a classic vehicle, any vehicle for that matter, that you'd like to sell, please consider allthingsmotoring.co.za. We'd love to give you advice, we'd love to engage, and look forward to chatting to you.
All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, the platform buyers trust with good reason. CHANGECARS works exclusively with the best manufacturer-approved dealerships. There's no safer online vehicle platform in South Africa.